Children, welcome back to our final time together as we talk about how we got God's Word, the Bible. Now today we're actually going to do a bit of a review, and then I'm going to give you a challenge as to why you should read God's Word. Now there are three names we covered that describe the Bible. There's the Holy Bible, God's Word, and the Scriptures. The word holy meaning pure and set apart. God's Word, the Bible, is pure. It's set apart. It's not like any other books. And that's because they are God's words. They are the Scriptures or God's writings. And these were written by certain holy men that God had set aside for himself. They were inspired to write in the Scriptures what God wanted them to write. They did not write them according to private interpretation, as 2 Peter 1:20 says. But they wrote exactly what God wanted them to write. And there was about 40 different men throughout history, through 1,600 years as we have covered. Men like kings, men like shepherds, men like Moses, who we learned about, who wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. We learned that there was a time in human history where though God spoke directly to a few men, no one had a Bible. No one had God's Word written down to them. But now we do. We have God's Word, the Old Testament and the New Testament, and they are given to us so that we may know who God is, that we may believe in Jesus, and that we may know right and wrong. And so, as we're reviewing all of this, I want to talk about why you should read the Bible. And the answer is because of everything we just covered. It's God's words. It's inspired by God, not the ideas of men. They tell you everything you need to know about God, about Jesus Christ, about right and wrong. It is God's gift to you and to me to be able to read His precious Word. And so as you've learned much over these weeks about how we have God's Word today, how God first spoke to men and it was written down and copied by scribes and is now given to us today, which I myself am writing in the English language. I hope you have a greater appreciation of God's Word. It is precious. It is the words of life. And I want to challenge you to read it. Read all of God's Word in your lifetime. Hold it to be holy, to be better than other books because it is unlike other books. Hold it to be dear to your heart and enjoy reading God's Word. Well, thank you for coming by as I've been translating the Bible, and I hope that you've learned much over these weeks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to be doing. Farewell.